Hi guys, and welcome to today's class. So today we are starting off from where we left off last week, creative techniques of public speaking. And we're able to deduce from last week that there are some special creative techniques that we can use, right? And we said in the creative techniques that we can use the demonstration part. And we went further to look at a particular video from a Toastmaster, presentation where that particular guy, he wanted to be able to pass the message that sugar or that sugar kills, or sugar is a very high cause of diabetes, or sugar kills, but he was putting a smoke in his mouth, and he was saying that was the reason for that particular smoke that he was putting in his mouth was because he wanted to use it as a prop, as a what? As a prop. So there are those styles of what? Public speaking creativity. There are actually those type of public speaking or creativity. So you demonstrate it. So some people come in, they demonstrate. Some people come in for public speaking. They don't need to bring anything in. They just come in themselves and they what? They speak. So you in demonstration, right? In demonstration, you are using an abstract of a physical element. You are using an abstract thing or a physical element to bring whatever you are saying into life. So that's what you do with the what? With the demonstration techniques. Okay, so there was this particular event I went for, and they said this guy they had 5 guys, and these 5 guys needed to do a public speaking on this particular topic. There will never be another. And so we had some days to prepare for it. They said everybody should go in, take 2 weeks to prepare for it. So on the third day of the event, everyone came to deliver their own type of public speaking that they know how to do. But guess what? There was this particular guy that came dressed in so much jersey. So there will never be another, right? He was dressed in Messi, Ronaldo. He was dressed in Messi's jersey. He was dressed in Ronaldo's jersey. He was dressed in Arjen Robben. He was dressed in Didier Drogba. He was dressed in there was this other Ronaldinho jersey. And during the time that he wanted to speak, the message he wanted to communicate was that there will never be what? Another. So he came on the particular stage as a demonstrative type of speaking that he wanted to do. And first and foremost, we were all familiar with the jersey that he was wearing. So he took off the first jersey, and that signified to us that particular first guy that he has taken off, which was Ronaldinho, there will never be what? Another, which was a demonstrative type of what? Of public what? Speaking. He took off the second one, which was another jersey of a popular football player, and gave us that there will never be another two, like a Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Took off that particular jersey, gave us another one, and ended with what? The Ronaldo jersey, and said, there will never be what? Another. Please, in my own type of demonstrative public speaking now, did you get this particular message that I use my jersey prop to be able to communicate across to you that there will never be another? Kindly give me a feedback. Was the message or communication clear enough by removing those jerseys? Hi, give me feedback.
Yes.
How about you, Ogono? Do you understand? How about you, Zeno? Did you understand?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I was saying this particular public speaking, we can have a particular demonstrative technique for it. And last week in our class, we said, let's check a particular video from a particular Toastmaster event. And in that particular Toastmaster event, right, we saw that guy, he came on stage and he put he used a cigarette in his mouth to be able to what? Illustrate a particular what scenario. True or false? On that particular scenario that he illustrated, we were not saying that let's imagine another real life, let's imagine another real life event. And we had like, and they say, come for this event, give us a speech and end the speech with what? There will never be what? Another. That former speech we looked at or last week, it ended with, I think we're using diabetes kills more than cancer or thereabout. So the guy was trying to illustrate something and see what he used that creative technique to do, the demonstrative technique to do. Let's see.
What? All you are big smoking killer? And let me tell you something. Do you know that the amount of people dying from diabetes are 3 times as many people dying from smoking? Yet if I put a Snicker bar, nobody would say anything. Do you know that the leading cause of lung cancer?
Did you guys get the message now?
It was actually very low. I couldn't hear properly.
Okay. So
Sorry,
he
increase
said,
it a bit.
he said what? Let me repeat. He said what? Do you know that diabetes kills more than smoking? Do you know people die more from diabetes than cancer? Yet, if I put a Snicker bar, if you see me right now putting a Snicker bar in my mouth, or you're drinking a Coke or drinking something, would you complain? That can give me diabetes that kills faster than what? Cancer. But yet, if you see a cigarette in somebody's mouth, you will definitely almost complain. So using a demonstrative techniques and using prop to be able to pass this particular message, he was able to pass this particular message accurately on that particular audience. So we said, let's liken it now to a similar situation. They say, come, I'm gonna give a speech that there will never be another. And say you, Zeno, myself, we all go and prepare for a speech. Go and write a speech, like the assignment or the practical I gave this morning, that we should write an introduction for a speech on how we can influence people and be able to what? Digital influence and impact on money or something about that nature, right? That was what was in our practical for today. So if I say they will go and give a speech for there will never be another, some people can use different type of creativity for it. You can go and write your own page. You can start with a hook. You can get your introduction, your body, your conclusion, right? But there's another person that might decide to use a demonstrative technique of public speaking, and the person might decide to wear like 5 jerseys. And when he wears this particular 5 jerseys, let's say a jersey of Ronaldo, a jersey of Didier Drogba, a jersey of Messi, Ibrahimovic, a jersey of Ronaldinho, if he comes and do that particular type of public speaking with you, and then he just keeps removing those jerseys, and he tells you there will never be another, it also passes that particular type of what message to you, because you can visually see those things and you can represent it in your mind, and you are able to travel in that particular mind realm. So public speaking is being able to put enough emotions and enough logic with enough confidence to make people travel in a great mind realm. So it is extremely important for you to sometimes add some PowerPoints to your public speaking, because sometimes if you are speaking about it, just like you did not understand very well until I had to play that video again, which we saw from last week, you would see that if you put some slides, there's a high possibility that as I'm talking to you, if I'm doing this, right, there's a high possibility that my slides might be making it much more clearer to you. So PowerPoint sometimes ensures that you are able to amplify your voice and people are able to understand you better, I'm going to recommend something for you guys today. You guys should go and look at Death by PowerPoint. You guys should go and read Death by PowerPoint. It is one of the most interesting PowerPoint presentation that it will give to you. Then this guy is also a very good public speaker, David J.P. Phillips. So he's one of the greatest of all time in public speaking. So you guys can check him out. So another creative speaking technique.
Sorry, this Death by PowerPoint, is it a video or a book?
A video, you can just go online and Google it. So another creative technique that we're using, apart from demonstration, is what? Analogy. And analogy is a way of giving further explanation to what has already been stated at first. And let's say, for example, I want to describe I say it's raining. Or let's say I'm like, it's raining outside. For me to possibly put a better analogy of it, I would need to add some extra words to it. I can say, I can possibly say it's cold, windy, dark clouds, and something else. So this particular type of descriptive words suggest to you from the analogy that I'm making that it is what? It might be raining what? Outside, or it might soon rain what? Outside. So analogy is also another creative technique of what? Of public speaking. So let's see. There was a time a friend of mine and we were talking about something, and we were using this particular analogy. And one person that uses this analogy and another creative techniques added to this analogy, which is called transcendence, is Barack Obama. Because, okay, when you say things like, I want you to imagine now. Let me take you back. So this morning when Zeno woke up, she heard a loud noise at the gate, and she rushed into her bathroom to wash her face, picked her towel just beside the window. When she checked there, she saw her shoes just behind the bed. Now, as I'm giving you these different analogies and descriptions, it is taking your mind through some flashbacks to Zeno's apartment, the noise that came possibly from the gates, where Zeno's shoe is at the back of her bed. Although you've not seen it, maybe you don't have an idea of what Zeno's room look like, but you're able to mentally picture it. True or false?
True.
So when you actually use a little bit of storytelling, some detail to take your audience through a bit of an imaginary journey, this is the state of public speaking that the professionals like the Obama, the Hillary Clinton, the Hitler, the Toastmasters, this is the level that they get. So they intentionally structure these words, even while speaking, looking at you, using some descriptive adjectives to be able to deliver the message. The message. You saw that speech of Obama that I played the other time. It was a speech that gave us something about the politics of hope that was entailing wishful thinking of blacks, the hope of slaves, the hope of a young black boy that came into America. And you see, because he had the science of communication well structured, the Americans, they were able to resonate with his message, and he became a very, very, very outstanding figure in America. So when you look at the persuasive techniques, right? We use these particular persuasive techniques to drive our message. And I'm going to quickly switch into one of the persuasive techniques now, so that if I am done with this particular call, I will be able to see what will happen in terms of your heart rate. But if I quickly go up and ensure that the heart rate of what I'm saying, or the voice or the tone of what I'm saying, ensures that your ear is tingling up, bringing it down, I'm increasing my pitch, I'm lowering my pitch, and it is going in that particular direction. Okay, so guys, let's pause here for a minute. Rewind 1 minute back. I slurred my voice a little bit. Did you notice the difference in my communication? Did anybody notice the difference?
Not really. No.
So if you are talking about something, there's a way you increase your tone. So tone variation is actually very, very important. There's a way you increase your tone, and you will not be able to give across that same message that you intend to pass. So you cannot be, let's say you are in a child care. You want to try to pass a message across to a place where there are a lot of children, right? The tone variation that you'll be using there will be different from when you are trying to pass a message in a place where you have some other type of set of people. And if you also notice too, there's a way you will be talking, right? People, it will not have any life in it. There's a way you will start talking right now, there will be no life in it. People will get bored. If I lower the pitch of my voice now, let's say I start doing something like this. So let's say I start doing something like this. How do I reduce my own pitch now? So let's go. Now I'm feeling okay. So let's go. So if you slow your speech like this, let's say I had to go pick up a few things that made sure these things become great. You see, normally when your heart rate is beating, it beats constantly. So at that same particular type of heart rate, your speech and the variation or your tone is meant to also be constant. It's not meant to have so much spacing in between, because if it has so much spacing in between, the people will not be able to gain or get your communication. So if you are using a low pitch, a low pitch is always boring. A high pitch is always a bit okay. So most times when you are talking, you use a high pitch, use a low tone, because when you use low tone, the sensitivity is not so much. But when you use high tone, the sensitivity is very much. So you try to switch it up. Switch it up. And I was looking at the fact that there are the three golden rules, the golden rule of theory. It is simple and straightforward. In any statement that you are saying that requires multiple elements, limit it into theory. So when I say the golden rule of theory, when you are talking, sometimes simplicity actually connotes expertise. If you are simple, when you say things in a simple way, people usually get it better. And it's better that you say it simple and people get it and they know how to do it, right? And they're able to take action on it, for them not to ever get it at all, which questions your ability to be able to deliver that message as an expert. So always stick with simplicity. Simplicity actually brings more expertise to the eyes of people. So you see, what I've tried to do with this particular class, I've tried to see that, okay, we're all trying to learn from each other and then see how we can get ourselves better in public speaking. We must not relent at it. Every month, every quarter, you try to get better at it. Plus, thank God that we are going to be looking at those different practicals after today's class. So the simpler your explanation, the more professional you look. The more professional you actually look. So, guys, can you guys go to the group, pick up look at the practical that we have. So we'll talk about it before the end of this particular class. So another thing of public speaking that I want us to quickly take before we call today's class a close is that when you're talking, sometimes when you see people talking on stage and almost immediately you hear them switch into a foreign language, maybe they're talking about something and they just say, comment allez-vous? It almost instantaneously takes your attention and rewires your listening process, and you say, what? You really want to listen again. So in public speaking, there's a particular technique you can use to be able to drag people's attention. Let's say if I go to somewhere like France, and as a public speaker, well, they normally, there are people there that would be hearing English, but the ability to also be able to communicate in a little bit of tiny French, maybe something that is related to the subject matter that I'm talking about, would also establish more expertise. You see some public speakers, they come with a little bit of strange language, a very foreign language when they are communicating with their audience. Not so much, not more than one or two maximum. In your whole speech, it should not be more than one or two, but it is also something that helps. If you use a strange language while doing your public speaking, it helps. So let's say like a Yoruba man that is a good public speaker that is known everywhere in the world. Let's say like an Osinbajo comes to give a lecture in Roboland, and after saying everything, is like during his speech, it goes something like, in our native dialect here in Robo, they say, Omo na 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 na, so, which means it continues again in English. What we would notice is that he would have been able to go to the roots of those people, that's the audience that he's talking about, and he will be able to quickly affect them in that particular light. They will feel a little bit of closeness to him because he was able to psychologically come from that particular level. It is actually very deep, and it is so powerful when you use it to communicate so many in occasions that are really necessary. So people are attracted to people who has nothing to prove. You can't tell a person, when you're negotiating, you must try to see that you don't have anything to lose, right? People that win in negotiations usually don't have anything to lose. You gain more respect when you don't have anything to really lose in your negotiation, because you're actually able to demand for it. And how do you get what you want from a negotiation? Most times you are speaking about it and you're vocal about it. So public speaking can also help you in your jobs if you decide that you will not take it to the stage and be talking to people. It can also help you in so many things, especially with negotiating. So I want you guys to try to see how you can speak with people more from henceforth. Don't hide in your shell. Don't hide in your shell. See and ensure that you start communicating with people, right? You start communicating with people and make sure that you take public speaking to the next level. On our practical manual, we have a few assignments there. I said you guys should give me some things. So go to the group. We have some practicals. So remember we said for every speech that you want to do, you need three core elements: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. In between the introduction, the body, and the conclusion, you have what? Transitions. So I said you are to select just one of these quotes from the options, and you have to build a short speech around the one you have chosen. The duration of the speech is not supposed to be more than what? 3 minutes. So choose one. Either you talk about neuromarketing. Neuromarketing should be inside your speech, or you talk about, and I was abandoned right when I needed help the most, and I was abandoned when I needed help the most. Then talk about another one, membership economy. Either of these three, you can pick one and talk about that. Then how to inspire and impact people in a digital world while making money. So you guys would be going through these particular ones, do a few practicals on it. I want to see you structure it into body, into the introduction, body, and transition. And let's see how we can be able to go from there. So guys, as excellent people, we've started shooting a few minutes above our time here. So we'll be looking forward to getting your conversation. And today is our last class for this particular public speaking. All of that communications for this particular class would be done on WhatsApp and via the communication channel that I've created. Looking forward to a great future with you guys as you implement what you have learned. Cheers, guys. Have a nice day.